My name is Ian.
Hello, my name is Ethan Borja.
My name is Cheyenne.
Yeah, so we were given this cartoon, and this cartoon is meant to represent an experiment that we did yesterday. And in that experiment, the main goal was to create these small copper wires through a process called photolithography. So I'm going to explain what's happening in these first 5 panels at the top. So this guy, he's at the tattoo shop, and he's getting a numbing gel put on his arm as like an initial layer. And then after that, the tattoo person is putting somewhat of a stencil over that numbing layer. And then he is shining a light on that stencil to help the stencil to stick to the arm, I guess. And then he's needling in the tattoo using the stencil. And then in the last one, he's taking away the stencil with a cleaning solution. So this represents 5 of the 6 steps from our experiment that we did. So the first step being a coating step in which a material is, like the base material is added to a sheet of cardboard, and it's just essentially just the base material. And then the next step is the masking step. So you put like a patterned sheet of paper on top of this cardboard square, and what it does is in the next step, the exposure step, when you shine UV lighting on it, that pattern blocks the UV lighting in certain places, and then exposes the rest of the material. So that way, in the next step, the patterning step, when you put it in a solution, the cardboard square, after it's been exposed to the UV light, and you swish it around for a few minutes, and then the material that had been exposed to the UV light is shed off, leaving only the pattern underneath. And then finally, the last step is the strip step. So all the excess material is removed, leaving you with just the thin copper wires.
Yeah. All right, so for the next bottom 2 drawings, this is what I will be talking about. So first, as an important concept that is being said here is size and like feature size. So basically, the first left and right drawings are the same like concept, as in it's both the tattooing, but the thing that changes the feature size is the size of the ink at the end. So that shows that, and then in science, like the wavelength is also represented, because a bigger means like bigger wavelengths makes it slower, and then the smaller wavelength makes it faster. So then also they represented that it's more detailed with the smaller stencil or smaller tip, and then in actual like real life, it's really important like that they're able to make these things smaller, because like things like like chips, like the smaller they are, the more easily producible they are, like mass producible. Also, it's also cheaper because of the less material used, and it makes more space in whatever device the chip is being installed in for other like purposes and other technology. And also, it makes like a smaller device, which could make it more convenient in like many cases, like as we evolve as humans. And then also, we use the top-down approach, which basically means we start from a bulk, and we use that to scale it down, possibly. So that basically how we learn about it, like a kind of like a metaphor we used was, we have like a marble, like a block of marble, and then we etch it, or like we break it down when you want to make our statue. And I think, yeah, that's important. So also chips that are smaller, like have smaller spaces for the electrons to travel, so that makes them faster and more efficient, and that's why it's really important for scientists, like that they're really like engaging in this concept, because they think that it's going to help them for more like productive devices.
So I'll be talking about the last two squares, and then the last two squares it shows two scenarios. One is which the tattoo needling device is not cleaned, so it causes an infection, and then the second scenario is when it is cleaned with alcohol, and then so it does not cause infection, and that's a metaphor to the clean room, which scientists use for research. And then when you go in, like you wear like jumpsuits from like the top of your neck to the bottom to keep out like dust and other pollution that you don't want in the samples.
Yeah, so I think a couple things that we'd like to point out really quickly on how this artist may have improved their metaphor is that, at least from what we could see, in the middle two squares, it doesn't necessarily mention how cost efficiency would be improved when the waves were made smaller, as well as its ability to be mass-produced. Yeah, that's it. Do we have any questions?
How would you make the depiction look more like a top-down approach versus a bottom-up approach?
Do you have any? Wait, what do you think?
Well, I feel like this kind of is a top-down approach, is it not? Because he's putting on the stencil, and then he's inking on top of the stencil, and then he's wiping away the stencil. So is that not a top-down approach, or?
I would say that that's still probably a little bit bottom-up because it's still like adding something on as opposed to something where it like entirely takes away, as opposed to something that adds and then takes away a little bit. Usually top-down means that it's only reductive as opposed to additive and reductive. So is there any way that you could think of where you're making like art on a body that's only reductive and not additive in any way?
Like piercings? Like you just put like you're taking away parts of your skin? I don't know. Like.
Oh wow, that's genius.
That would work.
He's so smart.
Yeah, or branding. Some people are a little bit more intense than they do that. Not very common, but it does happen. I have another question. So they did try to show the clean room with the infection, and that's certainly one way of representing it. Another thing too about the clean room is not just that it can like destroy something because something is really big, but if you have dirt or dust and you're trying to pattern, the pattern may not come out right? So how could you possibly make that analogy fit into, or how can you make that idea fit into this analogy?
So you're saying like if it wasn't clean, like how could it change the overall finishing product of the tattoo? Mm-hmm. Maybe like if he's really dirty or like dusty. And then
keep going. Sorry.
When they do the heating process, it might like leave out a few spaces, and it would leave like a little marks of whatever the resistant part that when he wipes it off comes off.
Maybe. Or I mean, I've never gotten a tattoo, so I don't know fully how the process would work. But I would imagine like if you had things on you, if you had things on you that were in the way, like maybe like if you had a lot of hair, like if you were a dude with a hairy arm and you had lots of hair on your arm, then that might interfere with making the tattoo, right? So like possibly like removing that and making a clean environment for the needle might be another way of depicting that, or something like that.
Yes.
Possibly. Other questions from the audience? Artist?
Nice.